Take these cards and prove your worth.
We don't need your money, we have each other.
Vincent Hayes sat alone in his penthouse overlooking the city lights. The silence felt heavy after another disappointing evening. His ex-fiancée Sophia had just left, and her parting words still echoed in his mind. She had complained about the restaurant not being exclusive enough, the wine not being rare enough, his attention not being focused enough on her needs. 3 months had passed since their engagement ended. Vincent thought they could remain friends, but every meeting reminded him why they had fallen apart. Sophia cared more about appearances than authenticity. She loved the lifestyle he provided, not the man behind it. He walked to the window and pressed his palm against the cold glass. At 34, Vincent had built a successful technology company from nothing. He employed over 500 people and had wealth beyond what he once dreamed possible. Yet something crucial was missing. He wanted someone who saw him, not his bank account. The moment of decision, his phone buzzed with a message from his best friend and business partner, Thomas Chen. "You look miserable." "What happened this time?" Vincent smiled despite himself. Thomas always knew when something bothered him. They'd been friends since college, long before the money came. "Same story, different evening," Vincent typed back. "I need to know if anyone actually cares about me as a person." Thomas called immediately. "What are you thinking?" "I have an idea," Vincent said slowly. "What if I could test people? See their real priorities when given the chance?" Thomas laughed. "This sounds dangerous." "Tell me more." Vincent explained his plan. He would give 2 people unlimited credit cards for 1 week. No restrictions, no questions asked. The first card would go to Sophia. The second would go to Claire Bennett, the nanny who cared for his daughter Emma. "Why Claire?" Thomas asked carefully. "Because she's different," Vincent answered. "She treats Emma with genuine love. She never asks for anything extra. I want to see what she would do with real resources." Thomas remained quiet for a moment. "You realize this might reveal things you do not want to see." "Maybe that is exactly what I need," Vincent replied. Meeting Claire the next morning brought sunshine through the windows. Vincent found Claire in the kitchen, preparing breakfast for Emma. His daughter sat at the table drawing pictures with colorful markers, her tongue sticking out in concentration.
"Morning."
Daddy Emma chirped without looking up from her artwork. "Good morning," Princess Vincent said, kissing the top of her head. "What are you creating?" "A picture of our family," Emma explained. "You, me, and Claire. We are having a picnic with butterflies." Vincent noticed how Claire was included without hesitation. His daughter had grown attached to her nanny over the past year, and he understood why. Claire was 26, with warm brown eyes and an easy smile. She treated Emma with patience and creativity, never just doing a job. "Claire, could I speak with you for a moment?" Vincent asked. She looked surprised but nodded. "Of course, Mr. Hayes." They stepped into his home office. Claire stood near the door, her hands clasped in front of her, clearly unsure why he wanted to talk privately. Vincent pulled out a black credit card from his desk drawer. "I want to give you something." Claire blinked in confusion as he held it out to her. "This is a credit card with no spending limit," Vincent explained. "I want you to have it for the next week. Use it however you wish." Her eyes widened. "Mr. Hayes, I cannot accept this. That would not be appropriate." "Please," he insisted gently. "Consider it a bonus for the wonderful care you give Emma. No strings attached. Just use it however you see fit." Claire hesitated, clearly uncomfortable. "This feels like too much. It is a gift," Vincent said firmly. "Will you accept it?" She took the card slowly, still looking uncertain. "Are you sure this is not some kind of mistake?" Vincent shook his head. "No mistake. Just a gift." The ex-fiancée's reaction that afternoon, Vincent met Sophia at an upscale cafe she favored. She arrived 20 minutes late, as usual, wearing designer sunglasses and a dress that cost more than most people earned in a month. "Vincent, darling," she said, kissing the air beside his cheeks. "You said you had something important to discuss." He slid an identical black card across the table. "I want to give you this." Sophia picked it up, examining it with interest. "What is this for?" "No limits, no restrictions," Vincent explained. Use it however you want this week. Consider it my way of acknowledging our past together." Her face lit up with genuine excitement for the first time in months. "Really? Anything I want?" "Anything," he confirmed. Sophia tucked the card into her expensive handbag, already scrolling through her phone. "This is perfect timing. Fashion Week starts next week, and I have been eyeing several pieces." Vincent watched her mentally planning purchases before she even left the table. She did not ask why he was giving her the card or whether he needed anything. She simply accepted it as something she deserved. "Thank you, Vincent," she said, standing to leave. "This is very generous. I have to run now. Lunch with the girls." She was gone before he could respond, leaving him with an untouched coffee and a growing certainty that his test would reveal exactly what he was expected. The tracking begins back at his office. Vincent met with Thomas, who had set up a monitoring system to track both cards discreetly. It was not about spying, Vincent told himself. It was about understanding. "Both cards are active," Thomas confirmed, pulling up the data on his computer screen. "Sophia made her first purchase 30 minutes ago." Vincent leaned closer. What did she buy? "A first-class plane ticket to Paris," Thomas read, "and a reservation at a 5-star hotel for Fashion Week." Vincent nodded slowly. That fit perfectly with everything he knew about Sophia. "What about Claire?" he asked. Thomas scrolled down. "Nothing yet. The card has not been used." Vincent found that interesting. Most people would test a card immediately to see if it really worked. Claire had not even tried. "Keep monitoring," Vincent said. "I want to know every purchase." As evening approached, Vincent returned home to find Emma and Claire playing in the living room. They had built a fort from blankets and pillows. His daughter's laughter filled the space with warmth. Claire looked up when he entered, her expression still uncertain. "Mr. Hayes, about the card you gave me earlier, I really think there has been some confusion." "No confusion," Vincent assured her. "Please use it. That is what it is for." She bit her lip, clearly struggling with the concept. "But why would you give me something like this?" "Because you deserve it," Vincent said simply. Emma popped her head out of the blanket fort. "Daddy, Claire says we might do something special this weekend. Can I go?" "What kind of special?" Vincent asked. Claire blushed slightly. "I have not decided yet. Just some ideas." Vincent smiled. "Whatever Claire plans, I trust it will be wonderful." As he climbed the stairs to his room that night, Vincent felt something shift inside him. The test had begun, but somehow he suspected the results would teach him more about himself than about anyone else. Morning light filtered through the curtains as Vincent checked his phone. Thomas had sent him an update with transaction reports from both cards. His heart beat faster as he opened the message. Sophia's purchases filled 2 entire pages. Private shopping appointments at luxury boutiques. A diamond bracelet. Designer shoes from 3 different brands. A spa package at the most expensive wellness center in the city. The total already exceeded $50,000, and only 18 hours had passed. Vincent scrolled to Claire's activity. One transaction appeared on the screen. She had spent $43 at a local grocery store. He stared at the number, confused. $43. She could have bought anything in the world, yet she purchased groceries. Thomas called moments later. "Have you seen the reports?" "I am looking at them now," Vincent replied. "What did Claire buy at the grocery store?" "Let me check the itemized receipt," Thomas said. Vincent heard keyboard clicks. Ingredients for baking: flour, sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, food coloring, and some birthday candles. "Birthday candles?" Vincent repeated. "That is what it shows," Thomas confirmed. Meanwhile, Sophia just booked a private yacht for a weekend cruise. She is also flying her friends to Paris on your card. Vincent felt his jaw tighten. He had expected Sophia to spend lavishly, but the speed and excess still amazed him. A conversation with Emma downstairs. Emma sat at the breakfast table, eating pancakes shaped like butterflies. Claire had clearly made them special, complete with fruit arranged as colorful wings. "Where is Claire?" Vincent asked. "She went to buy stuff for a surprise," Emma said, syrup dripping from her fork. But she made me promise not to tell. Vincent smiled. I will not ask then. Emma looked at him seriously, her big eyes so much like her late mother's. Daddy, do you think Claire is happy working here? The question caught him off guard. What makes you ask that? Because she is always nice to me, Emma explained. Even when I make mistakes or get messy, she never gets angry like other grown-ups. Vincent sat down beside his daughter. What other grown-ups get angry? Emma shrugged. Sophia always got mad when I touched her clothes or made noise. She said kids should be quiet and clean all the time. Vincent had not realized how much his daughter noticed. Claire is different, is she not? Very different, Emma nodded enthusiastically. Claire says mistakes help us learn. And messy means we are having fun. Those simple words carried more wisdom than Vincent had heard in boardrooms worth millions. Sophia's social media. Stormed by afternoon. Sophia had posted 15 pictures on social media. Each one showcased her new purchases with captions about self-care and treating yourself right. Her followers flooded the comments with heart emojis and jealous remarks. Vincent scrolled through the photos feeling empty. Everything looked perfect on the surface. Sophia posed with shopping bags, cocktails, and designer outfits. But something essential was missing. There was no joy in her eyes. Only the practiced smile of someone performing for an audience. One caption caught his attention. When someone finally recognizes your worth, living my best life. She had tagged him in the post. Vincent's phone immediately started buzzing with notifications. Friends, acquaintances, and business contacts all saw that he was apparently funding Sophia's shopping spree. Thomas sent him a screenshot. She is making this very public, letter Vincent typed back. This is part of the test. But privately, he felt disappointed. Not surprised, but disappointed. Claire's quiet mission that evening. Vincent came home early from the office. He found Claire in the kitchen, surrounded by baking supplies. Flour dusted her nose, and she hummed softly while mixing batter in a large bowl. Something smells wonderful, Vincent said. Claire jumped, startled. Mr. Hayes, I did not hear you come in. Please, call me Vincent, he said. We have known each other for over a year now. She blushed slightly. That would feel strange. You are my employer. Even so, he insisted gently. What are you baking? Claire wiped her hands on her apron. Cupcakes. I hope you do not mind me using the kitchen like this. Of course not, Vincent said. Is this for Emma? Not exactly, Claire hesitated. There is a children's shelter about 3 miles from here. I volunteer there sometimes on my days off. Tomorrow is the birthday of a little boy named Michael. He's turning 8, but the shelter does not have much budget for celebrations. Vincent felt something warm spread through his chest. So you are baking him a birthday cake? Cupcakes, Claire corrected with a shy smile. Easier to share with all the children. I used the card you gave me to buy supplies for 30 cupcakes. I hope that was acceptable. Vincent moved closer, watching her work with such care and attention. You could have bought anything in the world, and you chose baking supplies for children you do not even know. Claire looked confused by the question. But they need it more than I need anything else. Michael told me last week that he has never had a real birthday party. I cannot give him much, but I can give him cupcakes and candles and people singing happy birthday. Vincent stood silent for a moment, processing her words. Here was someone with unlimited resources choosing to spend $43 on flour and sugar. The shelter visit the next day was Saturday. Vincent told Claire he wanted to join her at the shelter. She seemed surprised but pleased. Emma insisted on coming too. I want to help with the birthday party. They drove together in Vincent's car, though he let Claire direct him to the neighborhood. The shelter occupied a modest building that had seen better days. Paint peeled from the walls. The playground equipment looked old, but well-maintained inside. Children of various ages played in a common room filled with donated toys and worn furniture. A tired-looking woman in her 50s greeted them warmly. Claire, you came, she said, hugging her. And you brought friends. This is my employer, Vincent, and his daughter, Emma. Claire introduced them. They wanted to help with Michael's party. The woman, who introduced herself as Dorothy, shook Vincent's hand firmly. "Any friend of Claire's is welcome here. She has been volunteering with us for 3 years. The children love her." 3 years. Vincent had not known that detail about Claire's life. Michael turned out to be a small boy with bright eyes and a gap-toothed smile. When he saw the cupcakes Claire had made, decorated with colorful frosting and sprinkles, his face lit up like sunrise. "Are these really for me?" he asked in wonder. "For you and everyone here," Claire said, kneeling to his level. "Because today is your special day." The party was simple. No expensive decorations or entertainment. Just cupcakes, juice boxes Claire had also purchased, and a group of children singing happy birthday off-key, but with full hearts. Vincent watched Emma playing with the other kids, sharing toys and laughing. He watched Claire moving between children, making sure everyone felt included. And he watched Michael blow out his candles with such pure happiness that it made his throat tight. Dorothy approached him quietly. "Claire is special, is she not?" "Yes," Vincent agreed softly. "She really is. She never tells people, but she donates part of her salary to us every month," Dorothy continued. "Has been doing it since she started working for you. Says every child deserves to feel loved." Vincent felt his chest constrict. Claire earned a good salary as Emma's nanny, but it was not extravagant. Yet she gave part of it away, without ever mentioning it. The contrast deepens that night. Thomas sent another update. Sophia's spending had reached $200,000. She had booked a private island vacation, purchased a limited edition handbag, and commissioned a custom jewelry piece. Her latest social media post showed her at an exclusive restaurant with friends. The caption read, "Champagne tastes forever. Thanks to those who appreciate real quality." The comments praised her lifestyle. Nobody questioned where the money came from or what she contributed to the world. Vincent looked at Claire's transaction history. Besides the $43 for baking supplies, she had spent $60 at a bookstore. Thomas had noted the purchase. Children's books donated to the shelter library, $103 total, against $200,000, but the numbers told nothing about the real difference. Sophia's purchases brought her temporary pleasure and social media likes. Claire's purchases brought joy to children who had very little. Vincent sat back in his chair, understanding something profound. He had designed this test to discover who cared about him as a person. But the test was revealing something far more important about character, compassion, and what people valued when given the freedom to choose. Emma appeared in his office doorway holding a drawing. "Daddy, look what I made." The picture showed stick figures at a party. She had labeled them Michael, Claire, Emma, and Daddy. "We are a team," Emma explained. "Claire says the best teams help people together." Vincent pulled his daughter into a hug, feeling gratitude for this wise nanny who was teaching his child about kindness instead of material things. The test continued. But Vincent already knew the answer. Now he just needed the courage to act on what his heart was telling him. Wednesday morning arrived, with rain tapping against the windows. Vincent sat in his office reviewing the week's transactions one last time before the cards expired at midnight. The contrast between the two women had grown even sharper over the past few days. Sophia's total now exceeded $400,000. She had purchased a luxury car, booked first-class tickets to 3 different fashion weeks, and bought an entire wardrobe from designers whose names Vincent barely recognized. Her social media documented every purchase with carefully staged photos and captions about living authentically. Claire's total remained at $103. Thomas walked into the office carrying 2 coffees. "Have you decided what you are going to do?" Vincent accepted the cup gratefully. "I know what my heart tells me, but my head keeps questioning if I am seeing this clearly." "Your head is protecting you from past hurt," Thomas said, sitting across from him. "Your heart is showing you something real." "What if I am wrong?" Vincent asked quietly. "What if I am just romanticizing kindness because I am lonely?" Thomas shook his head. "You are not wrong about Claire. I have watched her with Emma for a year. She is genuine. The question is whether you are brave enough to trust that." Before Vincent could respond, his phone buzzed. A message from Sophia. Can we meet for dinner tonight? I have something important to discuss. Vincent stared at the message, knowing exactly what she wanted to discuss. He typed back a simple confirmation. Sophia's proposal, the restaurant Sophia chose, was predictably expensive. She arrived wearing one of the new dresses purchased with his card, diamonds glittering at her throat and wrists. She looked stunning in a calculated magazine-covered way. "Vincent, darling," she purred, kissing his cheek. "Thank you for meeting me." They ordered food neither of them would finish. Sophia talked about her plans for the upcoming months, all funded by the purchases she had made. She seemed energized, more animated than he had seen her in months. Finally, over dessert she barely touched, Sophia reached across the table and took his hand. "I have been thinking about us," she said, her voice dropping to something meant to sound intimate. "This week reminded me of what we had together. The lifestyle, the experiences, the way we fit into each other's worlds." Vincent remained silent, letting her continue. "I made a mistake when I ended our engagement," Sophia admitted, though her eyes held no real regret. "I was scared of commitment, but now I see clearly. We belong together, Vincent. You appreciate quality, and so do I. We understand each other." She squeezed his hand, her perfectly manicured nails gentle against his skin. "I think we should try again," Sophia concluded. "Get re-engaged. This time I promise I will be ready." Vincent looked at this beautiful woman across from him. 6 months ago, maybe even 6 weeks ago, those words might have stirred something in him. Sophia represented everything his old self thought he wanted. Sophistication, beauty, connections in the right social circles. But now he saw her clearly. She did not love him. She loved what he provided. The card he had given her proved that beyond doubt. When offered unlimited resources, she thought only of herself. "Sophia," Vincent said gently, pulling his hand back. "I appreciate your honesty. But no." Her expression flickered with surprise. "No, this week was a test," Vincent explained. "I gave you that card to see what you would do with it. You chose exactly as I expected. Everything you purchased was for yourself, for your image, for your social status." Sophia's face hardened. "What did you expect? You gave me unlimited access." "Of course I would use it." "Exactly," Vincent nodded. "You used it without once thinking about anyone else. You did not donate to charity, help a friend in need, or do anything that did not directly benefit you." "That is not fair," Sophia protested, her voice rising slightly. "You said no restrictions. You said I could use it however I wanted." "And you did," Vincent agreed. "That is the point. When given freedom, you revealed your priorities. I need someone in my life who thinks beyond themselves." Sophia stood abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. "This was all a game to you? You humiliated me with some kind of test?" "I gave you the opportunity to show me who you really are," Vincent said calmly. "You did exactly that. There is no humiliation in being yourself." She grabbed her new designer purse, fury in her eyes. "You will regret this, Vincent. Good luck finding someone who fits your impossible standards." She stormed out of the restaurant, leaving him with the bill and a profound sense of relief. Vincent paid and left, feeling lighter than he had in months. The truth comes out when Vincent arrived home. He found Claire reading to Emma in the living room. They sat together on the couch, his daughter curled against the nanny's side, listening to a story about a brave little mouse. Claire looked up when he entered, her expression worried. "Is everything all right? You look tired." "I am fine," Vincent assured her. "Actually, I am better than fine. Can we talk after Emma goes to bed?" Claire nodded, though confusion clouded her features. An hour later, after Emma had been tucked in with kisses and one more story, Vincent and Claire sat in his study. She perched nervously on the edge of a chair while he poured them each a glass of water. "Claire, I need to be honest with you about something," Vincent began. "The card I gave you this week was part of a test." Her eyes widened. "A test?" "I gave an identical card to my ex-fiancée Sophia," he explained. "I wanted to see what each of you would do with unlimited resources. I wanted to understand what people truly value when they can have anything." Claire's face flushed. "You were testing me. Watching what I purchased?" "Yes," Vincent admitted. I am sorry for the deception, but I needed to know. She stood up, clearly upset. So this was all some kind of experiment? You used me to prove a point? No, Vincent said quickly, standing as well. It started that way, but it became something else. Claire, do you know what you showed me this week? She crossed her arms defensively. That I am boring? That I do not know how to enjoy expensive things? You showed me that you have a beautiful heart, Vincent said softly. Sophia spent over $400,000 on herself. You spent $103 on others. You used unlimited resources to bake cupcakes for a child's birthday and buy books for a shelter. Claire's expression shifted from anger to confusion. What else would I do with it? Exactly, Vincent smiled. What else would you do? That question reveals everything about who you are. Most people, when given that much power, think about themselves first. You thought about Michael, about the children at the shelter, about spreading joy to people who have very little. Tears formed in Claire's eyes. I did not need anything for myself. I have a good job, a place to live, food to eat. Those children have so much less. It seemed obvious to use the money where it would matter most. Vincent moved closer to her. Do you know how rare that is? How special it makes you? She wiped her eyes, still looking confused. I am not special. I am just a nanny who tries to be kind. You are so much more than that, Vincent said. This week you taught me something I had forgotten. Real wealth is not about what you own. It is about what you give. True character shows in how you treat people when nobody is watching, and how you use power when you have it. Claire met his eyes, searching his face. Why are you telling me this? Vincent took a deep breath, his heart pounding. Because somewhere during this test, I stopped evaluating you and started falling for you. Watching you with Emma, seeing your kindness at the shelter, understanding how you view the world. Claire, you make me want to be a better person. She stepped back, shaking her head. Vincent, I am your employee. You are a millionaire, and I am just someone who takes care of children. This does not make sense. This makes perfect sense, Vincent insisted. You see me as a person, not a bank account. You love my daughter genuinely, not because it benefits you. You live your values every single day without announcing them on social media or expecting recognition. I do not know what to say, Claire whispered. Say you will give me a chance? Vincent asked. Not as your employer, but as a man who wants to know you better. A man who wants to learn from your kindness and maybe teach you that you deserve to be cherished. A new beginning. Claire stood silent for a long moment. Vincent could see her mind working, processing everything he had revealed. I need time, she finally said. This is all very sudden and confusing. A week ago, you were my employer. Now you are telling me you have feelings for me? I understand, Vincent nodded. Take all the time you need. I am not going anywhere. She gave him a small smile. Can I ask you something? Anything. If I had spent that money on myself, on clothes or trips or expensive things, would you still have these feelings? Vincent considered the question carefully. Honestly, I do not know. But I do know that seeing your choices made me understand what I truly value in a partner. You could have done anything with that card. What you chose to do told me everything. Claire nodded slowly. I need to think about this. But Vincent, I appreciate your honesty. Even though the test feels a bit manipulative, I understand why you did it. Thank you for understanding, Vincent said. And Claire, regardless of what you decide about us, I want you to know something. You are not just a nanny. You are an extraordinary woman who makes the world better simply by being in it. 3 months later, the park was filled with autumn colors as Vincent pushed Emma on the swings. Claire sat on a nearby bench reading a book, looking up occasionally to smile at them. They had taken things slowly over the past months. Claire had moved out of the house to maintain appropriate boundaries while they explored their feelings. They went on proper dates, spent time talking about their lives, their dreams, or their fears. Vincent had introduced her to his business partners as his girlfriend, not his employee. Claire had quit as Emma's nanny, though she still spent almost every day with the little girl who had captured her heart. Dorothy, from the shelter, had been invited to their small family dinners. Vincent now donated regularly to the shelter and had started a foundation focused on helping underprivileged children. Claire served on the board, using her insights to direct funds where they would matter most. Sophia had sent a few angry messages after their dinner, but eventually stopped. Vincent heard through mutual acquaintances that she had found a new wealthy boyfriend and was living the same lifestyle. He wished her well from a distance and felt only gratitude that he had escaped that relationship. Emma ran over from the swings, breathless and happy. "Daddy Claire, can we go get ice cream?" "Absolutely," Claire said, standing and taking Emma's hand. Vincent joined them, and they walked together through the park. Emma skipped between them, holding both their hands, chattering about her day at school. "I have something to tell you both," Emma announced suddenly. "What is it, Princess?" Vincent asked. "I told my teacher that Claire is going to be my new mommy," Emma said matter-of-factly. "Is that okay?" Vincent and Claire both stopped walking. They looked at each other over Emma's head.
"Sweetheart,"
Claire said gently, kneeling down. "Your daddy and I care about each other very much, but we have not talked about anything like that yet." "But you should," Emma insisted, with the confidence only a 7-year-old could possess. "You make Daddy smile, and you make me happy. That means you should be a family." Vincent felt his throat tighten with emotion. He looked at Claire, seeing tears in her eyes that matched his own. "She might be right," Vincent said softly. Claire stood up, and he took her hand. "Maybe she is." They continued walking, the three of them together, toward an ice cream shop, and toward a future built not on wealth or status, but on the simple, profound truth that the best things in life cannot be bought. They can only be given freely from a generous heart. The end.